Gold Invest. Explore opportunity.
This is the PDAC 2025 biggest mining show in the world. We are talking to Aston Bay Minerals, as you can see in the background, companies we've been following for a while now. And they had out very interesting news just today. That's a Canadian version of the resource calculation on the Storm project. Can you tell us a bit what you did there and what the numbers are?
Yeah. Well, I always forget the numbers, I have to admit. But you know, the numbers. So essentially, with the Canadian 43101 resources, you know, it's a bit different from other jurisdictions' numbers that you might see. For example, JORC, our Australian partner, has previously put out some numbers, which I'm not allowed to speak to. But I can tell you there are the significant difference that you'll see is that the Australian numbers are essentially what they call not pit constrained. They are what you call a global resource. They're the total amount of copper in that they've essentially delineated, with the drilling. In North America, our regulations ask us to essentially say, well, of that global amount of copper that's in your resource, how much of it was within a mineable shape, right? And so as a result, the North American numbers are typically much smaller because it's what they call pit constrained. It is just the amount that either pit constrained or underground mining constrained. So those numbers are typically a bit smaller. And just to give you an idea of what the numbers are, and I'll read off because I never remember them. The important thing to note, is the amount of copper contained. Overall, the grade is very high. It's over 1% copper, in 1 to 1.5% copper that we're going to be mining. But the amount of copper actually contained here is for the indicated resource, it's 121,000 tons of copper. And then we also have an inferred resource of about 43,000 tons of copper. In addition to the copper, there is a significant silver component here. In terms of the silver, we have about indicated about 1.85 million ounces of silver, and add to that the inferred about almost 334,000 ounces of silver indicated as well. So again, that's a significant amount of metal, both copper and silver. That is really, what at the moment, what we can expect to mine. Now, of course, we are still working on making these resources bigger. We want to expand them both, within, these zones that we we are working on, but also by adding other near surface zones here. And that's an important thing to note about this resource is that, look, this isn't the end game here. This is just the near surface stuff. I think it's all within at least top 125 meters here. This is just the near surface stuff. This is the starter mine, if you want to think about it like that. It's very important for both us and our partner, American West, to get this resource out. It allows us then to say, well, look, this is what we have. This is kind of the size of the thing that we expect to mine, at least to start. This allows us to take the next step, which will be the PEA, the preliminary economic analysis. Now, our partner last night as well has released their JORC compliant, their Australian Aussie rules, as they say.
Aussie rules.
Yes.
Resource calculation.
Exactly, right. And again, I can't speak to that at the moment, but I can tell you that we are working on the companion release for that. So we'll work up our North American compliant PEA. It's going to take a month. There's a lot more backing information that's required, for our jurisdiction, and it does take some time. But we expect the numbers will be, on par. Looking at our 4311 resource, it's actually it's a little bit different even from what was in the JORC PEA, and that we've added a bit to it already. I think overall, though, the numbers will be, fairly compatible. I expect to see there'll be some good numbers. I expect that the market should like those numbers going forward.
So I expect to see the numbers. You're saying that can we expect those numbers? You said within a month.
Yeah. We expect it'll probably take about a month for our North American. It's going to be the same groups that did that worked on the data for the Australian JORC PEA. but it's just there's just much more backing information that's required. So you know, they're working on it already. You know, it just takes time, but we'll get there.
Perfect. Thank you very much. It's good to hear about those differences. I knew these were different standards, but what the difference really is, that's good to hear. Thank you.